There are two certainties in life, which is tax and death. So
Okay.
we're all going to die at some point.
Yeah.
How do we protect the people that are financially dependent on us? How do we ensure that our death doesn't have a detrimental impact on the people that are left behind? We can do something now to prepare to ensure that the lives of the people that we leave behind are not detrimental. Being Black and female, it's like you are you belong to groups that are underrepresented, right? And you have to strive still in that.
Welcome to this episode of SAADP ChatBytes. This episode, we are having Minkateko Cindy Mabuza, who is an accomplished professional and an alumna of SAADP. She studied at University of Pretoria. She matriculated in 2016 from St. George College as the top independent school learner in Limpopo, earning 7 distinctions and a 95% average. She holds a Bachelor of Science in Actuarial and Financial Mathematics, and she has a postgraduate diploma in risk management. She is a member of the Golden Key International Honor Society, and previously she has served on the ASABA UP Executive Committee. Minkateko is currently completing her actuarial exams with the goal of qualifying as a fellow of the Actuarial Society of South Africa and also becoming a Chartered Enterprise Risk Actuary with plans to pursue her MBA. Professionally, she is a senior actuarial analyst at one of the South African's top 4 banks, contributing strategically in risk and finance decision making. She is passionate about knowledge sharing, entrepreneurship. She likes traveling and spending time with their loved ones. Welcome, Cindi. Hi, welcome to SAADP ChatBytes. This is another episode for you. What do I mean for you? Pipeline. If you are a learner or a student out there wanting to pursue becoming an actuary, see what I mean? An actuary, or you like the space of actuarial science, this podcast is for you. It's new, fresh, and we are bringing the product. Why I'm saying the product? You know what? We've done some events. We went out and checking if people know about actuaries. You were like, do you know any doctor? Yeah, I know one. Any teacher? Oh, of course. Do you know an actuary? They were like, what? An actuary who? What do they do? So that's why, so that you can get to know and see the people who are behind that profession. So today, I have my girl, Cindy Minkateko Mabuza. I want to go poo, 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 poo.
Thank you.
You know what it's girls is like very nice. Like we get into our...
girly.
Welcome.
Thank you so much. Thanks for having me.
Yes.
Thank you.
Thank you for joining me. And I know we're going to have a beautiful conversation. And yes, the prep for us is always like, okay, this is where we want to dig in. But you are the person behind the profession. Tina out there, you know, we know you exist. We know there's insurance, there's banking, there's anything else. We don't even know much. Okay. But I would like you to give us as much insights as possible. Think about the student there. Think about the funder out there who will just make sure that, okay, the actuaries are here and we need more. We want to transform. You know why SAADP does what they do. We want to transform it. Yeah. So I need you to help me and help us dive in. But before we talk about that, Cindi, what's our guy? This young girl, where you from? Aspirations. Before you find yourself in this couch.
Yeah. Oh, wow. That's the best question. I love being asked to Cindi Minkateko, a Tsonga girl from Mankowankowa, Zanin, Limpopo province. I was born and raised in Limpopo, and I am a proud SAADP alumni. From the University of Pretoria.
UP!
So outside of being an actuarial professional, I love traveling. I love interacting with people, meeting new people, trying new things. I actually run a youth empowerment program at home, which is like my way of giving back and serving my purpose, which I believe is making the journey easier for the people that are going to walk after me. So I have a passion for helping people. I am a private tutor as well, so I do help mathematics, if you need mathematics help.
Yes,
I'm your girl, okay? Just to ensure the love for mathematics, and, break the stereotypes that mathematics is
Oh, yes,
hard.
please.
And just simplify the concepts so that everyone can understand and enjoy it.
Yes.
So,
Thank you for
that's me.
bringing the maths thing because I think, when we go to career developments or career days at school and all that, most of the kids will come back and say, no, I just changed to maths lead. They think maths is so difficult, but yet they also, let me not say forget, but they don't know that doing pure maths and just try to ace it opens up a whole range of profession for you. You can choose anything and everything because not that other subjects are not, but they are limiting.
Yes.
And some careers that are needed in the community, that are needed in the economy, those are the ones, and they need maths. Sure. So would you also encourage young people to not back down?
Yeah, definitely. I think mathematics is a bit challenging, but it does require a lot of work.
Yes.
So if you can put in the work, ask for help. I think most of the time people are scared of asking for help. And there is a lot of help available. There's a lot of people willing to tutor for free even.
Yeah.
YouTube videos. There's a lot of material available online for free. We have AI now. You can literally send it any question. It can help you, break down some of the answers. So I think we shouldn't shy away from mathematics. We should just try pivot into looking for the right materials to help us
use.
because it does open a lot of doors and it's needed for a lot of professions that we
and
really
careers,
need.
yeah.
Looking at the current crisis that we have in this country, so you do want to put your best foot forward and give yourself that chance, a fair chance of getting into a profession that can at least be slightly have some sort of certainty in terms of employment and real impact.
Or just getting into university.
Exactly.
And that particular career that you want.
Yeah.
Because when I share my story, always I tell people that, you know what, only if I knew then subject choices and what I wanted to be, it would have been better because I did other subject choices, but I wanted to be something else. So those are the kind of things that we need to match. Why we say do maths so that we can match with what you want to do. So let's talk about you, young girl.
Okay.
How did you then meet Wenake? How did you know about actuarial science? And where did the bug find you? Now I call it a bug.
Yeah, interesting.
How?
So I never knew actuarial science for the longest time, like a lot of you who are listening. I think I never really knew what I wanted to become. Like people would always ask me, what do you want to be when you want to grow up?
Yes.
I knew I was smart and I loved challenge. So I
love that. I knew I was smart. Dude.
Yeah, I knew I was smart and I knew I loved being intellectually challenged.
Oh, yeah.
So I was looking for a profession that would give me that would allow me to show my intellectual capabilities and provide real impact, solve real life problems, difficult problems, simplify things and really make a big impact. So I do actually have an aunt who studied actuarial science at the University of Pretoria. And the first time when we had this conversation, I think I was in grade 9, going on to grade 10. And she told me she studied actuarial science. She was telling me how it was about. And I was like, okay, I think this might be it. I think this might be something that speaks to me and that can allow me, to be intellectually challenged and also break the stereotypes. Like, I think I've always wanted to be different. Like, they say actuarial science is hard. I want to go for it. I want to actually go and show other people that it's not that hard, that I was able to do it and then you can do it too. So I think that's where the love started. And after that, it was a hard journey of trying to convince the parents because parents are like, what is this actuarial science?
Exactly our point.
Like, what is this? Are you going to have a job? Are you going to have a good job? You're smart. You're supposed to be a doctor, My mom is a healthcare professional. So representation, that's where representation matters because you can't dream of something you don't know.
Yeah.
Like, you have to know something. You have to see it. It has to be a reality.
And you are my first person or the first guest to say my aunt. everybody else is
Never
like,
knew an
it's
actuary.
that
Yeah.
teacher, or I Googled meds, what can I do? So this is the first.
Yeah, it
Shoot.
was my aunt, and she knows all the time. I always tell her,
Thank you,
girl,
auntie.
thank you, because if it weren't for you, I wouldn't be here.
Yes.
And yeah, I think so far, so good.
Wow.
Yeah, no regrets on my career choice.
I love it. I love it. And tell me about the university journey now,
Ooh.
transitioning.
Yo, Sana.
The journey, I know you're saying academically it was hard. You had to push yourself and do the best, but just tell us about the journey. And maybe also you can bring in House at P then as a support structure. How
Yeah.
has it helped you?
So my journey was an interesting one,
Okay.
different to a lot of people. So I went to the University of Cape Town first.
Okay.
So for my first year, 2017, I went to the University of Cape Town, Actuarial Science. SAADP didn't give me a bursary. Got declined. I got there. I reapplied again. I got declined. I was self-funding.
Okay.
So you can imagine as a Black student, you're self-funding in one of the most expensive universities in the country. It was really tough. And I think it made my journey very much more difficult. As I explained, I'm coming from Zanin. So Zanin to Cape Town is like worlds apart. You have to travel, the flights, and there's accommodation and a lot of things. So I think the year didn't go that well. End
Because
of the
we had
year,
a whole lot of
because
other
there were a lot
things
of
to
other
think
things
about.
to think about,
Yeah.
and there was that worry that I really need to work hard and get the bursary, and I did. I worked really hard. I think my GPA in first year was like a distinction.
Wow.
I still didn't get a bursary. The end of the year, I still did not get a bursary.
And you were like,
'cause
what?
most companies are very, they don't like funding first year actuarial science because of the high dropout rate. They always fund like slightly later. And there's a
Okay.
lot of, other issues. At that time, fees must fall.
Oh,
Free
that
education
time.
had just been announced. So there was a lot of confusion. What does it mean? What does it not mean? But fortunately for me, my aunt, the same aunt who went to the University of Pretoria, she's like, UP is not as expensive.
Come
Because obviously at the end of
back.
the year, we had to do a reconciliation with
Yeah.
my parents and how much they had spent, and it was like a lot of money.
Yeah, come back.
They're like, okay, all the money we had saved for you for 4 years is done in your first year, so now we don't have anything. And my aunt was like, no, University of Pretoria is not as expensive. We Googled. She's like, okay, you can transfer, which I did.
Okay.
Fortunately, like when I got to the University of Pretoria, SAADP funded.
So you had that door.
Yeah, I
Like,
think.
Why did you go so
It
far?
needed me to be there. Like, girl, you needed to be here. And then I think that's where the game changer for me happened, because I found a community. I think my actuarial journey changed significantly from that moment. I found myself in a community of people who are doing the same thing, who are experiencing the same struggles. And the support, over and above financial support, SAADP does offer a lot of emotional support. I would go to Ms. Lahoba's office and would just cry, would laugh, I felt a sense of belonging, and I was like,
Home.
I feel home. I
Yeah.
feel like this is where I was supposed to be. But life happens and things happen the way they do. You never know why. But I think from that moment, I had gotten a lot of tutoring from SAADP, and then I started understanding, math, stats better,
Concepts.
the concepts better. I got into Golden Key that year.
Oh, yay.
And I think it also just reminded me of why I started in the first place. Because the doubts were starting to come. Do you really belong here?
Yes.
Did you make the right decision? Maybe I should transfer, because I did have a bursary for another course, but not
Okay.
for actuarial science.
Okay.
So at some point I was like, oh, maybe I should ditch actuarial
And
science.
it was just
do
Cape
this other
Town.
thing, But yeah, I think overall the journey wasn't smooth,
Wow.
but SAADP made it better, so much better, because
Amazing.
now the financial burden is removed. You don't have to
Yes.
worry about how you're going to pay your rent.
Focus now.
Your raise, the food, you're focusing on just the books, you need to get the marks.
And you just bring you now.
And you just bring you, and the tutors were helping. There was mentorship. So I didn't feel like my first day at Cape Town, I was like alone, like
Oh, man.
in the ocean. I'm just this person floating, and I'm drowning. I can't float. I
Alone,
didn't
and
have
it's
a
far
community.
from home as well.
Far from home, and then Pretoria and SAADP being there created that sense of belonging and community. And throughout, I think they've been very supportive until final year, which was COVID times and also very challenging. But I think
Sweet.
SAADP pulled through. So forever grateful for that. And yeah,
Amazing,
whenever I tell
amazing.
people my journey, it's always different.
Like, yay.
Oh.
I like that you bring, there's two things that you brought for me, with different universities. I know that currently SAADP is accredited on just the UP and then Wits, I think Cape Town, there's more universities out there that we need to go into.
Yeah.
But you're talking about being alone at university space, that transition, that even if it's not bursary, but there has to be that kind of support for students coming in from different environments to fit in, because like you knew you're smart, you knew you could do the work, but because there's a whole lot of other
when you
things.
get there, everything changes.
Yes. So tell me, because that specific thing about bursary that most companies and corporates don't fund first year, what would you like to tell corporates out there so that at least they can, whatever the reason is on the other side, but maybe your story is one of those, like a game changer to say, give a first year student a chance.
Yeah. Please take that chance on the students. I know first year, dropout rate is really high for actuarial students, and it can, and then there's a monetary impact, right? If students drop out and don't finish. But there are other students who do have the potential and would really, really, really need the funding. Myself as an example, literally, I almost changed career choices because I didn't have funding. So please do take the chance. It's a gamble, but it can be a good one. You just need to ensure that you offer the right support to students. Everyone who makes it into the actuarial degree is smart.
True.
Just to make it in, you're really smart and you have the potential to make it out. So I think
and this is the person that you need
exactly
in your business.
Yeah, so corporates just need to, offer that financial support and emotional support as well.
Yeah.
And you will see that the individuals you're grooming are the individuals that are going to take your corporates into the higher heights, like greater heights, because they will bring in that expertise and those skills and that knowledge into your organization.
Drive.
Yeah.
And the drive.
So please.
Like you said in your intro, I like the please. They had it. I think, and the drive that you bring, because sometimes you look at the output and never what you bring in that will assess the output. So if somebody, now you're here, fast forward, graduated, working girly, now you get into the space. How was that different? And also, one, as a woman, two, as a Black woman, you're getting into now the corporate space. How was that transition for you?
Yeah, it wasn't easy. You Black, you're female, so you have to kind of work twice as hard.
Yeah.
I think you fall into two groups that are underrepresented, and you always just feel the need to work extra hard, to do slightly more, to be seen, to be heard. And I think it's across board. I think as women, you kind of need to, to prove yourself more, right? But I think the support that the organizations that I worked in, that I transitioned to, offered made the journey easier. There was the support and understanding that you're a graduate. You're still trying to merge the two. You're still trying to merge, the technical expertise and knowledge from work and then putting it together. And that's where the support comes in. So I was in a graduate program, so it was like a gradual,
lovely.
Getting used to the working environment, being allowed to make mistakes, and also having mentors, right, that allowed us to make mistakes, ask questions, and learn. And SAADP also played a pivotal role in that, because it was through SAADP that I was placed in the graduate program. Okay. And even after that, there were a lot of other SAADP alumni. The family from varsity now came with me to my workplace. So in the graduate program, there were like a few of the community that I knew. So it felt...
And it feels safe.
Safe. It felt, a community. It didn't feel so different. It just felt like it's just a different environment, but similar still. Amazing. So I think overall, adjusting wasn't as hard, but it wasn't as easy. I think you just really need the community. But university does prepare you quite well.
And seeing people like you.
Will show you flames throughout the university years. So when you get there, I think you're well equipped. You do have the necessary skills. You just need to do some enough job where you have to convince yourself that you do belong.
Oh, wow.
You're not there by mistake. You are qualified to be there. I think that's important. The first thing you need to do when you get into the workplace.
That's important.
Convince yourself you belong there. You're not there by mistake. No one did you a favor. You have the qualifications.
And everything that you have done from school to university to where you are now, you were prepared for it.
Yeah. And qualifies you for that. And then you're able to take space and now show and blossom into your full potential, because you believe in yourself first.
Sure.
and you believe that you deserve to be there.
important.
So I think, yeah.
No, thank you for bringing that up. That's really important because I think the imposter syndrome is hectic for everyone, and people think not everybody get it. Like it's real.
Yeah.
So you need to
It
always
is.
be
Always
with yourself.
Remind yourself.
So if there's a 10-year-old here, like, okay, yes, I hear you, Actuaries. What do you actually do? Easy, I know.
A lot of things. I always say it's a multi-discipline field. We do a lot of things.
Yeah.
So it's the science where everything comes together. So you have your mathematics and your statistics, probability skills coming into finance, business, strategy, and you're bringing everything together to solve the problem. Whatever problem the organization is. I know traditionally actuaries mostly work in financial institutions.
Yes, and
but
insurance as well.
Yeah, insurance, financial institutions. But I feel like actuaries bring the base skills and the good skills in wider fields and variety of fields. So I think because we understand the different elements, there's finance, there's economics, there's business, strategy, stats, product, everything just comes together. So we're able to, bring solutions and solve the problems, the bigger picture and the bigger problems, merging the softer skills and the technical skills as well. So yeah, in a nutshell, an actuary does everything. They solve all problems. It really just depends on what problem is at hand at that moment.
One example.
I mean,
easy
example for a 10-year-old. I work in life insurance, so I'll just lean into that a bit. So you know how we have, there are two certainties in life, which is tax and death. Okay. So we're all going to die at some point. Yeah. But how do we prepare for that? Okay. How do we protect the people that are financially dependent on us? How do we ensure that our death doesn't have a detrimental impact on the people that are left behind? That's where actuaries come in. Okay. And actuaries will be like, we know we're going to die one day, but we don't know when and how, but we can do something now to prepare to ensure that the lives of the people that we leave behind are not detrimental. They're not affected. That's where the actuaries come with product design, and then they now sit down and think, what products would people need to protect? That's where all the funeral policies and the different types and shapes and sizes, they come in. How do you protect the children? The education products coming in. What if you don't even die, but you get into an accident and you're disabled? Still alive?
What happens then?
But you're disabled, you can't work. So what must happen then? So that's where we solve all those issues. So in this case, it's a thing of we're bringing solutions to, how do we prepare for death? How do we pre-fund for it now as we work? We can put some money aside and have these products to ensure that there is that protection when it happens, whenever that will be, which we all don't know.
Yes.
So those are some of the exciting problems that we solve. A lot of other problems. But yeah, this is just a few. And then also, how do we design the product? How do we reach the underrepresented groups?
Oh, yes.
How do we make the product affordable? How do we make it simple?
Yeah.
Because now, how will someone in the village, I come from Limpopo, how are they going to understand that they need this product? And how are they going to afford? So that's where affordability and simplicity and the innovation comes. Like, how do we get more people? Yeah. A lot of people on social media now, on phones, cell phones, nobody will listen to radio and newspapers. Yes. So we're always revolving, always solving new problems, new things coming, then we solve the new problems and ensure that, we create a sustainable model.
Not true. I was going to ask you about the fair pricing on products and all that, but you've touched on that this is where you dig deep. Yeah. It's not one blanket that fits everybody else. Yeah. Sure. Yeah. You explained it very simply. I even understand it now even better because I'm like, okay, now the people who are calling me, now they know who I am, price bracket, what I have and all that, and hence they will sell me that particular product that fits within me and how many kids do I have, how old I am and all that. Yeah. Damn,
so there's an actuary behind that and a lot of other things, but yeah. I think
it is, it is a big job. It is a big job. What are some things that surprise people about actuaries?
A lot of things. So a lot of people tell me that I am too extroverted to be an actuary.
Oh, yes.
So people think actuaries, it's all numbers and they're these smart
Like
people,
you will find nerds
boring
only
people who are
there.
nerds, always sitting on the laptop. They don't like people. But look at us. We're chatting here, having a good time. So I think it's those stereotypes, professional stereotypes that because most actually you're nerds, you're smart, and you spend a lot of time analyzing numbers and solving these complex problems, then you're supposed to be like a social awkward person.
Yes.
But that's not usually the case. You still have a life outside of Cindy being an actuary. I'm still human. I still need the human element, interactions, and I'm still able to live a normal human life. So I get that a lot, but people are like, you're an actuary? No,
Actually,
no,
yes.
but I am.
Actually, that is so true.
Yeah.
Actually, we're like, no, because I think when we first started, there were a few alumni that we reached out to when I talked to you. They're like, no, we don't want to talk about this. No, I need to check. I'm like, how? Like, where are the actuaries?
on, let's
Just
talk.
come and chat with us.
Yeah.
So, but I'm glad that we see you guys, but you exist, and
We are
you are
there.
just you are yourself first before you are your profession.
Definitely.
So you cannot say because you are, then it means you are not an extrovert or you are not fun.
Yeah, exactly. Can be both.
It can be both. So, like with actual science, how can you improve financial inclusion? I know you spoke about like you're coming from Limpopo, you need to know the people from that side. But how can you improve that inclusion when we're looking at businesses?
Corporate.
Yeah.
I think one of
As
the...
in, yes, corporates, not you.
Yes, as a corporate, I think one of the things that we always look at as business is there's a person on the other side.
Okay.
Right, so always try understand their needs and their interest. Right, people are different. There's different people who have different needs. Some people just want simplicity, because affordability is key. So give me the simplest product, the cheapest product. That's the only thing I want. I don't need these added things. I don't even understand these added things. I just want the basic product.
Yeah.
So that's why when we do product design and pricing, there are layers to it. So there's like simple products for simple people, just the basic premiums. Then you add on to other things, which go to like more advanced customers who actually understand and have a need for that, right? So I think overall, corporates do make an effort in terms of treating customers fairly, ensuring that the customers understand the product that they purchasing, how it works, and in simple terms, and also in the pricing to ensure that value is added. Like there is value for what the customer is paying for. So there is a lot of work that is done in the background regarding that. There are a lot of questionnaires. There's a lot of, engaging with the communities that we targeting.
Oh, yes, like the feedback, the surveys and all that.
You want to understand, is this product, like when a customer lapses a policy, you have to go back and understand why. Is it expensive? Don't you understand it? Do you feel like you don't need it? Have your needs changed? How can we now walk with you in that journey? Instead of dumping you, now you can go elsewhere. We walk with you. Your needs have changed.
Let's customize again.
Let's find something else that currently suits your needs and your affordability. Offering, sometimes products we do offer, payment reliefs, premium reliefs. During COVID, you'd see that a lot of insurance companies were offering because people are not working. They didn't have income. So that's how the corporates are always like trying to ensure that they have the customers' needs at heart and always have them first on the other side, because that's the bread and butter.
Yeah.
Without them,
you touched something so important, but I think most consumers don't know that they can go back and ask and say, now I'm here. I was there. I was employed before and I earned this much and my life has changed and I need. There's that, I think more from, I will just say it like Black communities, Skolot or debt and all that feels so uncomfortable and we don't know. So maybe you can help us and communities out there to say it is important to know where you are, and you can always go back to corporates to say, I'm not affording. And what's there for them. I think you've covered a bit, but you can emphasize to say it's possible. They can customize again. You can change your premium. So we are the boss of the price.
You can. Like the worst thing they can say is no. But you can ask. It's worth a shot. What if they say yes? So pick up that phone call and be like, hi, this premium is not affordable anymore. Instead of lapsing, we're losing you as a customer would just try meet you halfway if needs be. Most of corporates do have retentions policies that do allow, some premium discounts and other nice fun stuff that can be applied to your policies. So reach out. The worst they can say is no. But it's important, I think, to give it a shot and know that you can downgrade. You don't have to cancel completely. You can reduce the sum assured. That can reduce the premium. You don't have to cancel in totality. There are customizations that can be made. You can remove, certain
some of the things that you don't need now, and then when you're back.
Yeah, sometimes you don't even know you added them, but they're there.
Yes,
exactly.
Yes, and they give you we can have a buffer there.
And then add this, add that, and you don't know and understand. So sometimes calling, just checking up, and also reading.
Oh, bruh,
I think reading is hard. A lot of people don't read the fine print. Reading the terms and conditions, to try and understand. And if you don't, ask.
Yeah.
Tell them, what does this statement mean? So that you're not shocked later on.
True.
At claim stage or something, and then you didn't completely understand.
Wow.
So you do need to also make an effort as a consumer to ask.
Sitting here, I feel like there's another responsibility that SAADP, I think, can look into, where that product knowledge and understanding that you can come as actuaries and just have a different education. I know now we're talking about, we want people to know what actuaries do. We want them to see you guys who you are. But I think that is another layer. We need the education, because I don't know why we are scared of insurance.
I think it's a future development can be done where. So I told you I do have a program that I do run.
Yes.
I have a passion for financial literacy.
Oh yes,
because I feel like a lot of us, especially Black communities, there is that knowledge gap.
True,
and
we need it.
We do need these organizations and institutions to bring in the bridge the gap, so that people understand how to take care of their money.
Your money.
How to manage your money, what to do,
yours.
which products are available for you in simple terms. So I feel like there's still a lot to be done in that aspect and element. SAADP and other organizations, I think they can, come together and come into play in seeing how they can drive that inclusion. Because it's mostly the underrepresented and that are marginalized that actually feel the pain. So how do we reach out to them? How do we ensure that the literacy and the knowledge is available to them?
Yeah.
So I think
because we talk about transformation and access, and sometimes we take it for granted to say, you can say there's information out there, you can go, you can find it and all that, but is that information accessible to Cindi, somewhere else?
Exactly. And is it simple enough?
Yes.
Is it in a language they understand?
Yes. And for the whole community, because you can go ask mom, but mom's like, I also don't understand because I've been here for so long and
exactly.
Sure. How do you see the profession developing or changing in the next 10 years?
Exciting times. I feel like there's a lot of work that has been done in terms of diversity and inclusion. We are seeing a lot more compared to before, Black actuarial professions coming into the field. I think there's still more that can be done, but I am excited to see the change. That there is representation. Like I mentioned before, you cannot dream what you don't know. So all the learners somewhere, if they don't see us, if they don't see the representation, how will they yearn to be us, And the increased, I think, I'm excited about the increase of the visibility of the actuarial profession. Actuaries are taking up more leadership roles now, running these big corporates, and there is this reputation that is now coming to say that, okay, these are the people that we need to run, to steer this ship in the right direction. So I think in the next 10 years, the increase in the visibility of actuaries, and we'll also see more actuaries branching out
different.
Of the traditional actuarial roles, not just being in insurance, pensions, and branching out into wider fields, because we can actually make a big impact there, So the visibility, I think, is what I'm excited to see in the next 10 years. You'll see actuaries in mining, you'll see actuaries in manufacturing, in consulting, because we do have the skills and expertise and knowledge that can add business value there. So I think that's one of the things I'm very much excited about, seeing, actuaries getting out of their shell, and also the industry as a whole, placing a good reputation on
Exciting
actuaries and
time.
taking a chance to say,
Exciting
come,
times.
come be our CFO. Let's see what you can do. And they're doing a good job. And then now they're
And not
building
just
the
this
trust.
one line to say CFOs are this particular profession only.
Yes. And then when they do a good job, then now there is that trust to say that maybe these are the people that we need to steer the ship.
As
So in the
well.
next 10 years, I think I'm very excited.
You
to
just
see
got
how
me
it's gonna be.
excited. You got me excited because I mean,
Yeah.
SAADP is over 20 years old.
Yeah.
SAADP has been there,
Yeah.
you know, and only me, if I didn't work with SAADP or find SAADP the way I didn't know about actuaries.
them.
I knew when we're doing like, hey, careers, but what else and what do they do, where they are and all that. So
Yeah.
this is exciting. I think I do see the change.
Yeah.
And thank you guys as alumni to help us make the change with you because
Yes.
without you, I don't think we would be here.
Yes.
Now we are here.
We are there. We are there.
Exactly. Let's talk about AI. How is it changing the actual work? I know everybody like, hey, AI, don't be scared, do this. I know we've mastered the chat GPTs in general. Hey, chat.
Yeah, I think
But in your
exciting
profession?
times ahead. I think it enhances the work that actuaries actually do. I do not believe that AI can completely replace us.
Yeah.
They will just enhance, you know, the value add that we bring and the strategy and,
Yeah.
you know, the work that we do. We still need actuaries who are going to use the AI tools just to be more efficient in the work that they do, right? But they would still be that
the human.
understanding
Yep.
of the human element, human behavior, that the actuaries would still need to understand and interpret, you know, the
So
results and the
true.
data. So I think AI is bringing a shift of actuaries moving from technical element because now AI can do all the technical work.
Yes.
They can do all the data analysis and all of that, but actuaries now moving towards value adding. Understanding the data, analyzing the data, driving conclusions from that. So instead of being technical, we're not
and
spending too much time on
data-
technical anymore.
yeah.
No, we
Oh,
have AI to do all the technical work.
Yes.
Now you're spending more time in
evolving
analyzing.
nicely,
So you're
yeah.
evolving into more business ad, and it's just enhancing the level of, you know, contributions that
Yes.
actuaries will be making in, you know, the problem solving. So problems will be solved faster, quicker, more innovative ideas. Like things will be done more efficiently and
Yes.
quicker, and also moving from technical to
As
business
you
ad.
said, yeah, value
Business
add. Yeah.
add
Because
and
now
value
it's about
add.
what value are you adding?
Yeah.
In any corporate, what value are you adding? We know
Exactly.
your profession, we know what you can do, but
What value? Of what value are you adding? So that's what AI does efficiently,
Whew.
ensuring that we do that efficiently.
I wanted to ask you about beyond insurance, but I think you did talk about where you see actuaries making a big difference.
Yeah.
You've covered that nicely. Let's talk about qualifying as, you know, professional bodies. People don't talk about why is it important to belong to a certain body within your profession, and what does that do for you as well as a qualified actuary when you're done. Because you can have your degree, you're done, you can work, it's fine. But there is a difference between just qualified from academically and
Yes.
also now with being in the profession and qualifying
Yes.
as.
Yeah.
Share the difference and why is it important with the professional bodies that you can tell us the ones that you are part of.
Yes.
And then we're talking about the other one, the conferences that you were. So share the light as well on that.
I think it's really important to
I
belong,
just know ASA.
you know, to a professional body. You know, you are expected to hold a certain level of integrity, you know, ethics,
Ethical.
and the reputation, right? So the corporates will believe that you are able to add value into this level of quality as compared to if you do not belong, you know, to the professional body. So now, Cindi, as a fellow of the Actuarial Society of South Africa, then they will know that this person does adhere to the, you know, codes of conduct of ASA, ethics, integrity, innovation, you know, continued development.
Oh, yes, which is
and
important.
yes, continuous development, because it's moving. We're moving with the times. You have to
and
keep
you need
up.
to stay here abreast to what's happening
so
around.
That's
Yes.
what belonging to professional body does.
Yes.
And then there's other professional bodies that have other purposes as well. ASABA, for example, it's Association of Black Actual South African Professionals. So there, it's where you get to mingle and network with people who look like you, people who experience similar challenges to you. Also giving you a sense of community. You're also getting the opportunity to learn, because we
Yeah.
learn from others and we learn every day. Even as a qualified actuary, you'll still be learning every single day.
Yeah.
So you do need to have that community that will allow you to interact, all the conferences and other events,
Yeah.
networking events that the professional bodies
Are doing,
do host. They do make you be a better person, and you're able to add make a better impact as compared to if you just have your actual degree and you're just sitting at home, no continuous development. You're still stuck from what was happening
And 5
10
years
years
down
ago.
the line, you are not, everything, the standards, the ethics.
Things have
Everything,
changed. So you have
everything
to
that you
keep
need
up
to
with the
know
time. Yeah.
for that particular time.
Yes,
I like that you also added the other, I didn't know Asaba before, because outside of just being Black actuaries and all that, you again are the people who will be able to assist the same community that you come from.
Yep.
And you are able to have those conversations that might not be held maybe somewhere else.
Yes.
Because of the color, to say, no, yes, we are all humans. Yes, we are all part of the economy, but we are different.
Yes.
There's our perceptions, how we live, how we, so which is good. And I'm glad that you brought that up. So let's talk about all the other barriers. What have you gone through that you had to make you the person that you are today, to say, you know what, I'm going to just be Black, I'm proud, and a woman, and I'm going to go in there. Give me examples of situations that made you realize that barriers are there and will always be there, and you need to fight them through.
Are we going to be here the whole day? Because there are a lot of barriers, right? I think we've mentioned it before, that being Black and female, it's like you are you belong to groups that are underrepresented, right? And you have to strive still in that. And breaking the barriers, what it means for me is that I'm creating a bridge for the next generation. Just because I struggled, it doesn't mean everyone else should continue struggling. No, me struggling and making it past through these barriers and all the barriers that I faced, I'm creating bridges so that the next people can flow through.
Easier.
So in barriers of entry, just getting into the profession itself, like from matric to varsity already, you need really good marks. You need your good marks, which is hard sometimes depending on the environment and the background that you come from. Access to quality education is not as we think it is. Sometimes it's really hard, and other students or other learners are faced with a lot of other challenges that makes it hard for them to excel in work.
Yep.
You still need to worry about how you're going to get home. You're walking kilometers to get to school. You don't know what you're going to eat when you get home. How are you going to focus, So all those barriers, and then getting into university, you are seeing a laptop or computer for the first time. You have to write exams with this thing. It's another barrier that you have to cross. You have to learn, typing speed. You have to learn how to use these different tools in university that you were not accustomed to before. And it takes a lot of time and effort, that you need to do. Whereas someone else who was probably more accustomed to Excel, they know their ins and outs. It's slightly easier. And then also moving into the workplace. You get into the workplace, there's very little people that look like you. You're gonna ask yourself, do I belong here? You're gonna
and you see people that feels like they've been here for long and they've done it, and you are just
and
this
you
person coming
shrink
in.
yourself, So I think all these barriers that we have experienced as professionals have, they are the ones that make us ensure that we have to do better. We have to do better. We have to give back. We have to ensure that the next generation or the next people that are coming after us are going to have it slightly easier. Slightly easier. They're not going to have it as hard as we did. And creating that awareness that it's okay. You're going to feel like this. I did feel like that way. But this is how you navigate, the mentorship. That's where mentorship also is important, and that's where you take in some of the students, sharing your journey like I am now. It's someone else will be relating somewhere. They're like,
and they can see you are touchable. They can see you. They can come to you, that you are not far-fetched.
Yes. And then that's where, the hope is being created, that if she could do it, then I can do it too. So
I like that. You're saying a mouthful. What else can alumni do? I know SAADP relies from corporates to more funding and all that, but you guys are here now within the same corporates that we are looking for. in your own spaces, what else can you do to assist SAADP to push? Yes, mentorship, I hear you. And we are glad that I've seen UP, we do high teas, you guys are there as speakers and all that. You are there, and that's great.
Yeah.
But what else and what more can alumni? And then you can tell your community as well to say, guys, let's do this.
Let's do this. Yeah, I think because of the environment that we find ourselves in, we do have a voice.
Yeah.
Like, you can exercise your voice. Try, probe that executive. Are you able to lend a helping hand? These are the challenges. SAADP does need some money. This is what we can do. Are you able to lend a helping hand? I think it's worth a try. And even ourselves within the community, I think we can lend our time, our resources. We are very knowledgeable. Like, I did uni a couple of years ago, but I promise you, I still remember a few things, So I would still be able to give up my time, help some of the students, take up some of the learners, bring them to my workplace just for the week, for them to come and see what I do, give them that opportunity, because sometimes job shadowing opportunity, vacation work opportunities are a bit rare and it's a bit hard to find. Reach out to some of the students that are applying so that they have an idea of how things work in the workplace. And I think I always look at myself as a custodian of the actuarial profession.
Oh, yes.
So wherever I am, I put the word across. I will make it ahead. I will speak to the students, whether they are 5, whether they are 10. I will bring the awareness that, I'm an actuary. I studied actuarial science. This is what actuaries do.
Wow.
And then they'll be probing, asking the questions. And then that's where the interest comes, because people cannot dream.
Information.
Yes,
and
people.
easy.
Yeah, people cannot dream for something that they don't know. But wherever we find ourselves in our social circles, we need to be bringing the awareness that this is actuarial science. This is what what actuaries do. This is how we can help. I feel like there's a lot of ways in which, as SAADP alumni, we can help, starting from our workplaces, trying to press the buttons to see how we can be involved, right? And also being available. If SAADP reaches out to us to come,
make the time,
help the students, mentorship, other ways in which we can help. I think we just have to be willing to give back, because we want to make the journey easier for the people that are coming, after us. So we have to make that effort and not make ourselves untouchable. Like, I'm done with SAADP. I don't owe them anything. No, you do.
Actually.
I always feel indebted to SAADP, and I can't say no. If they call me and they reach out to me that they need any help, I will assist. I have to be there. I need to make the journey easier for other people. There are people who made the journey easier for me.
For you before.
So now it's my chance to do the same.
And your community.
Exactly.
No, thank you so much for that.
Yeah.
And SAADP has started a new funded dream. No, fuel a dream. So fueling a dream can mean so many things. So, and I like that you're touching up, because there's so much more that you can do being there, available, and also financially as well. Financially, so we're hoping as well that we will talk about it more, and also not be scared to say, hey, fuel, put that 50 rands, put that every month, commit, so that the kitty can grow more and we can have more people, because I think there's still a lot more actuaries that are needed. Yeah, I think we cannot shy away from that. Most of the question, I'm like, she has already answered this.
Sorry.
No, which is good, because I think it's easier hearing from you than us trying to probe. Okay. But I'm glad that you're bringing other elements that we have not thought about, and I'm even thinking, what else should this podcast be like, and what other topics that we need to cover, because you've touched like key things that when I get out of here, I need to just make notes, like she's coming back, financial literacy, let's come back. Yes. She's coming back for 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. And then let's talk about
Okay.
No, in general, the space that our youth is in now, we see social media has brought easy life, easy money. I just need to be pretty, like the whole pretty privilege, and without qualifications. In your own words and space where you are, how can we help young people to understand that we still need to go back to school, study, qualify, be something? And let's not let social media make us believe that it's easy to just be pretty and make money.
Yeah. I think
I know.
that's a hard one.
I know.
But I think as a start on a softer note, I think just ensuring that we bring in the awareness, representation. I think the young ladies, gentlemen, like they if they don't see the people who look like them, they're not gonna wish and hope to be there, right? And the awareness that easy come, easy go. Nothing comes easy in life. You have to work. And us sharing our story, like how I got to where I am, and the financial freedom that comes with, working hard for your own money and being in a state that nobody can take that away from you. Because you do not want to be in a vulnerable state that another person is able to dictate the quality of life that you can have. And then if they choose to walk out of the door, then your quality of life decreases or changes in any way, right? So I think we need to do more in terms of, bringing awareness to the young girls to, and also showcasing how it's hard to work. But it's doable. So that they can also dream. And then they can also aspire to be financially free.
And show the positive things.
Yes, show the positive things that come out of our, us, the hard work that we did and the degrees and what we're currently doing and just being present. So I think most of us, we just want to be in our own shells, in our own houses, doing our own things. We don't want to be out there. We don't want to interact with these young people. We don't want to, you don't want to feel like you're doing too much, and also just feel like you can't pour from an empty cup, right? But
it's important
It's
now.
really important. It's an important thing. The children need to know, and then also need to know that the support is there. Because I feel like sometimes the reason people are scared or they just pulling back from studying, they just feel like it's so hard. And they just feel like it's not for them. It's for other people, not for me. I don't see people who look like me doing this, so why should I do it? So that's where the representation would come in.
So we need to do a lot more.
More of this.
And to make education fashionable.
Yes.
And qualifying to be something fashionable and having and holding those, designation fashionable.
Yeah, so accolades and not as... Because I think it's good to be humble. It's good. But sometimes it's good to put it out there so that your accolades are seen and shown.
For this reason.
For this purpose.
Why we are here. Because we see that everything you see is just the timelines that you see. It's easy, fun.
But easy come, easy
so
go.
Please,
not sustainable.
With that question, it means I am urging you guys to do more as well on your, we want to see those a day in an actuary post and all that. Send them to us so that we can share. Because we are here to help make it easier, because we know that you guys are working hard and there's a lot.
Wider reach. Yes.
Before we close.
Are we closing already?
Bruh, you see.
Wow.
Time flies.
Time flies when you're having fun.
It does. Quotes that you live by or a motto that you live by.
A lot. But I think just to mention a few, believing in myself. I believe that I can do it. I believe that I can do anything that I set my mind into. And whenever, failure does come, I always remind myself, pour into myself that you are able to, and seeking, refuge in my friends, in my family, in my faith, right? Looking back to where I come from and seeing how far I've come. And I can't drop the ball now. I have to keep going forward. So I think I always leave on the words that I can and I will. Everything that I've put my mind into, I can do it. And I think on an actuarial space, it's more of I belong.
Yeah. Oof.
I belong. I belong there. When the imposter syndrome comes a bit, you remind yourself that you belong. You're not there by mistake, and you do have a positive contribution, and you shouldn't shrink yourself
to
fit into the spaces.
Yeah.
The spaces rather need to expand.
Yes.
For you, but you shouldn't shrink yourself to fit into the spaces. And I think lastly, just hard work.
Oh, yes.
Nothing beats hard work. You have to work
hard. And
hard.
hard work can be fun as well, guys.
Hard work can be fun.
Yeah, because we're saying hard, it doesn't necessarily mean it can be fun.
It can be fun, but you have to put in the work. I think that's the one thing, sometimes I'm studying, it's early morning, I just want to sleep, and then I just remind myself, I have to put in the work. No one else will put in the work for me.
you. So true.
Have to do it.
Okay. Banking or insurance?
Insurance, just because I work there, to be honest.
Yeah.
But I feel like all fields, there is a lot that can be done and a lot that can be learned and a lot of contributions. But on my side, I do have a passion for insurance, especially micro insurance, because I've just seen how, underrepresentation, most, Black people in South Africa are underinsured. There is a lot of there's a lot of financial literacy gap and things like that. So I think it's just more of a passion, making insurance accessible, simple, and affordable. So that it's not a luxury. Having a funeral policy, having a life policy shouldn't be a luxury. It shouldn't be. It's the last thing on my list because it's so expensive and I also don't see value in it. So I feel like I do have that purpose to say that more awareness needs to be made that how you can use insurance as a wealth creation tool. Wealth transfer. You're going to die either way. So you might as well just leave some money.
You're coming back, right? You're coming back here, right?
Of course. I can never say no to you.
No, definitely. I think that right there is, I think for me, it needs an episode on its own so that we can teach us, there's so much more that we can be better at.
Yeah.
Okay. Podcast, radio, books.
Podcast.
And wow.
Podcast. Here we are. Fun, vibrant,
Yes. And we're able to dig
times.
deep, so it's not like that short.
Yeah.
We're able to be relatable. You can see me. This is who I am as I come.
Podcast one way.
Oh, yeah. Tea, coffee, water.
Yo, water, guys. Water, healthy, 3 liters a day. But I'm caffeine intolerant, so no coffee for me.
Oh.
But yeah, water.
Okay.
Yeah.
And then what's coming up for Minkateko after here?
Minkateko.
I love that.
So I think I've mentioned that I love traveling. So I am working on, travel agency to ensure that traveling is accessible to people. I think I usually get a lot of people asking me, how do you afford to travel? Traveling is so expensive. Why are you all in all these different countries? And I'm like, no, it's not that expensive. You need to plan. Build a budget, plan in advance, put in a little bit every month, things like that. So I'm like working towards that because I feel like there is a level of, freedom that comes with being able to travel, see the world. You look at things differently when you go out there and see how other people live life and do things, how you get to see the differences in infrastructure, the differences, cultural
and it
differences.
Opens up your mind
and
so much.
You're able to be open-minded and dream more and bigger. You see outside South Africa, outside your
how
little
other people live
village, how other people are living. So I've just been like, that's something that's embedded in my heart. I'm like, traveling shouldn't be expensive and shouldn't be hard. So, people just need the right channels, how to save up for it, how to plan. You can travel on a budget, and things like that. So that's what's coming up from my side. But I'll still be putting in the effort in all the other, areas that I'm working on, the tutoring, the women empowerment sessions, and all the empowerments of the young children, youth that I work with. I work with the youth deeply in the youth where I come from. And now it's just looking into expanding to reach, wider communities and mostly the online community. Because, most people are online. So there is a wider reach and online. So that's what's coming. Be on the lookout.
Yes. Oh, no, let's wrap it up there. Thank you so much, Minkateko, for joining us and helping us. You've opened my mind so much. And I have a lot in my head. Like, okay, I'm going to go make sure that, other episodes that are coming are rich. So this is SAADP ChatBytes. Please remember, when you see this episode, like, subscribe, and don't just leave it there. Hit the notification button so that when we upload the next episode, you are the first to know. And the big one, share. That's why we are online, so that we are able to reach everybody else that we cannot reach physically where we are in South Africa. All 9 provinces, we cannot be there physically, but this will make sure that everybody gets it. This is I've been waiting to say this is your Actuarial podcast. Thank you.
Thank you. Thanks for having me.